At 3 a.m., the Thompson family's home was shattered by the sound of breaking glass, a violent intrusion that would test the limits of courage and survival. Behind the chaos stood Robert Callahan, a man entrusted to safeguard the neighborhood but secretly orchestrating a gang to terrorize it. Mark Thompson, a father and former Marine, reacted with a ferocity no one saw coming, standing his ground with unyielding resolve. What unfolded was a battle for justice that exploded in a way no one could ignore, sparking debates about self-defense, betrayal, and the lengths one man will go to protect his family. The neighborhood lay silent under the heavy cloak of night when the sudden crash of glass tore through the stillness like a gunshot. Mark Thompson snapped awake, his pulse racing as instinct kicked in. Shards of glass rained onto the bed, glinting in the red glow of the blaring alarm system. The piercing wail of the alarm echoed through the house, setting Mark's nerves ablaze. His wife, Sarah, screamed, clutching the sheets, her eyes darting in panic. From down the hall, their youngest daughter, Emily, cried out in terror, her voice cutting straight to Mark's core. For a fleeting moment, Mark's mind raced with possibilities: fire, explosion, or something worse. His years in the Marines screamed at him to act. He rolled off the bed, ignoring the glass slicing his palms, pulling Sarah down with him as another crash came from the ruined window. A shadowy figure loomed outside, boots scraping the frame, gloves gripping jagged edges. Then another appeared. They wore dark uniforms, badges glinting under the alarm strobe, but something was off. The badges looked cheap, the patches uneven. Across their chests, Mark saw the words, HOA Enforcement. His blood ran cold. This was no official operation. HOAs didn't storm homes at 3 a.m., terrorizing families. This was a setup. One intruder raised a dark object, its shape ominous in the flashing light. Mark didn't wait to see if it was a weapon. His training didn't allow hesitation when lives were at stake. He lunged for the closet, yanking open a hidden panel. His hand closed around the cold steel of his M82 Barrett, 8.50 BMG rifle he hadn't touched in years but kept pristine for moments like this. Moments he prayed would never come. Sarah huddled in the corner, shielding her head as debris fell. Emily's cries grew frantic. Mark's grip tightened. This wasn't random. It was targeted, deliberate, and reckless. The second intruder climbed through the window, his movements aggressive, jittery, not those of a protector but a predator. Mark's decision was instant. No negotiations. No second chances. These men had forfeited mercy the moment they broke into his home. With cold precision, he raised the rifle, aimed at the entry point, and prepared to defend his family with lethal force. Mark Thompson wasn't your typical suburban dad. Beneath the calm exterior of a man who coached soccer and mowed his lawn was a past forged in combat. 2 tours in Iraq had earned him a Silver Star through grit and an unshakable sense of duty. He didn't seek trouble, but when it came, he met it head-on. Outside, the intruders shouted over the alarm, their voices harsh. "Open up! Emergency inspection! HOA business!" The absurdity of their words fueled Mark's rage. The glint of a second object, maybe a weapon, confirmed the danger. A vision flashed, Sarah bleeding, Emily silenced. It wasn't fear, it was instinct, honed by years of watching hesitation cost lives. Mark's hands steadied, his breathing slowed. He knew the law. In his home, under threat, he had every right to use lethal force. No jury would call it reckless. They'd call it survival. He moved silently, avoiding glass shards. Sarah's pleading eyes locked on him. Emily's sobs fueled his resolve. The intruders grew bolder, sensing weakness where there was none. Mark saw another glint, another threat. His blood boiled. These weren't protectors. They were cowards hiding behind fake authority, like the corrupt officials he'd seen overseas. They deserved justice, not mercy. His mind calculated angles instinctively. The lead intruder stepped inside, glass crunching underfoot. His partner barked orders, hand tightening on his weapon. That was enough. Mark rose from the shadows, a force unleashed. Fear was gone. Doubt was gone. There was only his home, his family, and the certainty that no one would take them from him. In a hidden compartment behind the bed, the Barrett M82 waited, a relic of Mark's past, built for unstoppable power. Tonight, it was his shield. He ripped open the lock, the rifle's weight grounding him. As an intruder forced his way through the shattered wall, kicking debris, Mark moved with lethal calm. The rifle felt massive in the small bedroom, but its power matched the threat. He lined up the shot, reflex taking over. The first round roared, a thunderclap splitting the night. The recoil slammed his shoulder, but he held firm. The slug tore through the wall, sending the intruder flying into the debris. Silence followed, then chaos. Another shadow scrambled to flee. Mark tracked him, firing a second, third, and fourth round. Each shot shook the house, walls trembling, dust cascading. The second intruder crumpled near the staircase, his shouts drowned by collapsing wood. The third and fourth rounds obliterated the wall, leaving gaping holes. Picture frames rattled, furniture skidded, and a downstairs window cracked. Mark stood unmoved, scanning for threats. The barrel smoked, gunpowder thick in the air. This wasn't chaos, it was control. Outside, retreating footsteps pounded the lawn, men who came to intimidate but met resistance they couldn't fathom. Mark lowered the rifle, still vigilant. The immediate threat was gone, but he knew better than to relax. The intruder's panic was palpable. One limped down the stairs, tumbling in pain. Another staggered into the yard, clutching a wound. The third, in a humiliating twist, got stuck in the backyard fence, thrashing helplessly, his radio spitting static. No backup came. Sirens wailed in the distance. 5 minutes later, real police arrived, cruisers skidding onto the lawn. Officers spilled out, weapons drawn, then froze at the sight. A home riddled with holes, glass everywhere, 3 groaning intruders scattered like broken toys. On the porch sat Mark, barefoot in pajamas, the Barrett across his lap, his expression calm but unyielding. Sergeant Daniels, a grizzled veteran, approached, holstering his gun. "Well, damn, Thompson," he said, half resigned, half impressed. "Only you could turn a break-in into a war zone." Mark nodded, the hint of a smile breaking through. The evidence spoke for itself. Daniels surveyed the wreckage. "Same fake HOA crew we've been after. Idiots thought no one would fight back." He glanced at Mark. "You did right. No question." Mark's tension eased. His family was safe. The threat was over. A quiet pride settled in, not for the violence, but for standing his ground. The investigation unfolded under flashing lights. The intruders were frauds, using fake HOA badges to extort homeowners. They'd demand cash for bogus violations, targeting resistors with night raids. The mastermind? Robert Callahan, the neighborhood's trusted HOA inspector. He'd built a network of thugs, supplying fake IDs and scripts. His betrayal cut deep. A man meant to protect had preyed on his community. Federal marshals arrested Callahan days later. Charges included robbery, assault, and attempted kidnapping. In court, Mark's actions were hailed as a citizen's right to defend his home. He became a reluctant hero, dubbed the dad who stopped the fake cops. Offers for interviews and book deals flooded in, but Mark declined. He'd fought for his family, not fame. When Callahan and his crew received 20-year sentences, Mark stood with Sarah and Emily, feeling not triumph but peace, hard-won and deserved. The judge praised their courage, his words echoing in the packed courtroom. The Thompsons' home, scarred but standing, became a symbol of resilience. Their street, once gripped by fear, was safe again, not because evil was gone, but because good people fought back. That night, as dawn broke, Mark, Sarah, and Emily stepped into their battered home. The wreckage held a quiet victory. Emily tugged Mark's sleeve, her voice small. "Dad, were you scared?" Mark looked at the golden light streaming through the broken wall, a soft smile forming. "Sure, kid," he said. "Fear's what reminds you what's worth fighting for. It's not a reason to quit, it's a reason to stand up. Emily nodded, her hand in his. Sarah's touch grounded him. The house felt alive, a fortress forged in courage. In the silence, there was peace earned through sacrifice. What do you think? Was Mark's response justified, or did he go too far? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let us know where you stand on the line between protection and escalation. Hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more stories that spark debate and keep you on the edge of your seat.